Hey guys, Coach Kate here, and today we're going to talk about the 5 most common mistakes people make when starting a fitness journey. So I'm going to hop right in, and the first mistake I see most people make is this all or nothing black or white mentality. So we dive in without any regards to what we think is sustainable, and we wait until the perfect time to start this plan because we know it's going to require all of our effort and all of our attention. And there's a couple of things wrong with this because it's not sustainable, number one. But number two, when we put things in a good or bad category, or we're looking at things as either healthy or unhealthy, we forget that there is a spectrum all the way across. And there's this gray area in here where most of us should be existing because in order to achieve our goals, we need to be as consistent as possible for as long as possible. So, operating in the gray is something that I really have tried to stress with my clients over the years because it's not about how hard you can go for how long. Because you can work out every single day and all you eat is chicken and rice and broccoli for 3 weeks, a month, maybe 2 months if you're lucky. But at some point, you're going to have a breaking point and you're going to get tired of that chicken and rice, and you're going to burn yourself out on the gym, or you're going to get injured, worse. And so it's really important to sit down and really have a conversation with yourself about what is sustainable. So when you're making a goal, you need to ask yourself, am I, number one, 90% positive that I can make this happen? Like, is this a goal that I actually believe that I can achieve? Because that's the first step in achieving any goal, is to actually believe that you can do it. So if you don't believe you can do it, then you're already behind from the beginning. So when you make a goal, ask yourself, am I 90% certain that I can achieve this goal? After that, ask yourself, can I see myself doing this for the rest of my life? Because if it's not something that you can incorporate into your daily life, and you have to work your daily life around your fitness regimen, at some point it's not going to work. It's just going to stop working because you're going to get tired of, restructuring your entire day just to get your workout in, or, an unsustainable meal plan. All these things, guys, need to be considered when you're thinking about how you're going to set up your plan for the new year. So I want to, number one, manage expectations, because a lot of people, the reason that they're black and white is because they have these big goals and they think it requires, these big, massive efforts to achieve them. So what we want to do is make sure that we're aware that what we're starting now, we're going to continue for the rest of our lives. And it's not I'm going to lose 30 pounds in a month. It's, I'm going to lose 30 pounds over the course of a year. Because, guys, honestly, most of you did not get overweight overnight. You did not get to the point of, your unhealthy habits, or, the way you feel, your cholesterol is high. All of these things, they did not happen overnight. So why do you expect to change them overnight? It's not going to work, okay? So make sure you're in this for the long run. As soon as you stop looking for those shortcuts and the quick fixes, guys, the sooner that you're actually going to start seeing results, okay? I want you to think a little bit about something we call the 10X rule. I read a book by Grant Cardone, and the 10X rule is the notion that whatever you want to achieve, if it's something lofty, if it's something worth it, it's going to take 10 times the amount of effort that you thought it was going to take in the beginning. And I'm sure most of you, if you've started a fitness journey and you've had any type of success, that you have seen this come to fruition in your life, because you probably had to give up way more than you thought. You probably had to work 10 times longer than you thought. It's taking you much longer than you thought it was going to take in the beginning. And guys, that's just something that you're going to have to embrace, because like I said earlier, we didn't get here overnight. We're not going to get back to where we want to be overnight either. So the second mistake I see most people make is following these fad diets, or going off of what a influencer says on Instagram without doing proper research. So, guys, I want to start out by saying every single diet, no matter what it's called, works the exact same way. Calories in versus calories out. It is all about calorie management. So, whether you're on keto, whether you are on the Atkins diet, whether you're on a low fat diet, low carb diet, whatever it is, it only works if you are managing your calories. There is no magic diet. There is no magic perfect way for you to achieve what you want to achieve. Now, when we're talking about diets and how we manage calories, we want to choose a way of eating. I prefer that over diet. We want to choose a way of eating that is going to be most sustainable for us long term. So a lot of people, they'll start their fitness journey, and we're cruising with this, new, maybe it's a less processed meal plan, or we're increasing protein, or we're tracking what we're eating every day. And we do this for 2, 3, 4 months. We're seeing results. It's going well. And then at some point, a client says to me, when can I stop eating like this? Like when I hit my goal, I can just go back to the way I was before, right? And guys, what do you think is going to happen if you go back to eating the way you were eating before? You're going to gain your weight back, and probably more so, because you have, totally, especially when you're following an extreme diet, you have totally just white knuckled your way through it for the past 4, 5, 6 months, and now you're just going to go crazy. So we have got to figure out a way of eating that is sustainable for you for the rest of your life. Can I see myself doing this the rest of my life? It's about habits, guys. So when we're talking about keto, and somebody asks me, do you think I should do the keto diet? My first question is always, well, do you like carbs? Well, yeah, I like carbs. Then why on God's name would you do a keto diet? You can have 0 carbs, like none, like not even a little bit. So all of these things are something to consider, because this is not just, we can't keep looking in these short, teeny tiny periods, 3, 6, 12 months, even a year, guys. It's not about this small amount of time. It's about the lifestyle that we're choosing to live for the rest of our lives. And when you look at it that way, it's kind of awesome, because that gives you a lot more freedom and a lot more grace, because you're like, yeah, maybe I screwed up my meal plan yesterday, or, I had that donut, wasn't really on plan, but guess what? I got the rest of my life to make this right, and one freaking donut over the course of my entire life is not going to make that big a difference, okay? So that's just something to consider when you're thinking about following fad diets, or some crazy routine that somebody mentioned on Instagram. Guys, always, always, always do your research. And just because somebody looks good and tells you to take a supplement does not mean that you need to take that supplement, or that that supplement works or is effective or even safe. The supplement industry is not regulated. You have no idea what they're putting in those supplements. So be sure before you start a supplement that you actually know what's in it, what it does, how it works within the body. Because in the grand scheme of things, guys, I got to where I am without a lot of supplements, honestly. When I first began my fitness journey, it was all about what am I putting in my body and move. Those 2 things. I took some whey protein here and there, maybe some aminos at some point, which have proven to not be as effective either. So, I did not need supplements, and you don't need supplements either. You need to eat whole, real foods, unless you have a medical condition, obviously, which you should go to your doctor and get some guidance there for, okay? So, what do you do then when we're thinking about diets and how that works within your overall lifespan, right? You have to experiment and find what works for you, and you have to stay patient, okay? So you can't just do something for 1 or 2 weeks and say, oh, that doesn't work. Guys, it takes a while to see change, especially if it's small changes, which it should be, because if it's not small changes, then you're not going to be able to stick to them. These small changes build up over time, and the more consistent you can be with them, the better your results will be in the long run. But you have to stay patient, and you have to stay consistent. So find what works for you, continue to do it as long as possible. That's it, guys. Mistake number 3. A lot of people use only one measure of progress. So usually it's the scale. Guys, you have heard it before over and over again. The scale is not the end-all be-all, okay? We need to consider different things like, is my blood pressure improving? Is my cholesterol improving? What do my progress pictures look like? Am I losing inches? What do my measurements look like? But even more than that, it's about mental well-being and spiritual well-being, and how do I feel? Do I have more energy? Am I happier? Guys, physical exercise and fueling your body properly, reducing that inflammation in your body and moving so you get those endorphins, all of that is going to make you feel so much better. And when you feel better, you perform better, you are a happier person, you are more enjoyable to be around for others. Think about your family. You're going to be around for longer. So, for some of you who have children, you want to see your grandchildren, maybe you have a special needs child that you're going to have to take care of for a long time. Guys, all of these things need to be considered when you're talking about your fitness journey and how it's going to affect the rest of your life. So we need to look at more than just the scale weight to see, am I making progress? Am I moving in the right direction? Because at the end of the day, that scale means absolutely nothing. It is a data point at one small moment in your life. And it doesn't say anything about who you are, how much you love, how happy you are. If you give it that control, guys, you're giving an inanimate object control over your entire happiness. How silly does that sound? It really does when you sit down and think about it. I know most of you are on a weight loss journey, and it is important to you that you do lose weight because that will mean you're healthier. But if we continue to just hone in on that one number and it will make or break our day, guys, you are going to be in for a very, very, very long run because there are so many factors that go into scale weight, and it doesn't mean that you are or aren't making progress. At the end of the day, all we can control is the process. We cannot control the outcomes. But I guarantee you, if you make those small sustainable changes over time, you will see a trend downwards. It will happen. Calories in, calories out, movement, stress management, drinking your water, all these things, guys, have a huge impact on your overall health, okay? So let's look at more than one measure of progress, all right? Mistake number 4, intensity over consistency. And we've kind of already talked about this because when we're talking about that all or nothing, black or white mentality, this goes right into it. But a lot of people, they say, I'm gonna work out twice a day for a month, or I'm going to do an hour of cardio every single day for 2 weeks. And guys, this kind of mentality just sets you up for failure because, like we said, it's not sustainable over time. We have got to do something that we're going to be able to stick to for the rest of our lives. So what we're looking for is instead consistency over intensity. Okay, so maybe that looks like within your diet, I'm going to eat whole nutrient-dense foods 80% of the time, and then I'm going to treat myself the other 20% of the time. So if there are, let's just say for for numbers sake, you have 21 meals over the course of the week. That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 7 days of the week, right? That's 21 meals. So maybe you track 17 of those meals and make sure they're mostly whole nutrient-dense foods. And then 4 of those meals, you're a little less strict. You go out to eat, you have something that you've really been craving, or whatever that looks like. Guys, if you did that every single day or every single week for an entire year, I guarantee you would see results. Because what matters most is what you do most of the time, not what you do a little bit of the time. And that's where people get this mental block because they've been doing really, really well over the week, and then maybe they have a cheat meal on the weekends. And they're like, well, I just blew my entire diet, and now it's going to take me a week, 10 days to get back on track. And then you just set yourself back even more. So it's that whole don't slash all 4 tires because one tire has a flat, right? Okay, so we need to make sure that we are continually working on consistency over intensity. What that might look like within your workout routine is I'm going to move for 30 minutes 3 times a week. Okay, so if you have 0 movement right now, maybe this is a good goal for you, or maybe even 20 minutes 3 times a week. I'm just going to go and walk, or I'm going to go play football with my kids, or I'm going to go play basketball, or I'm going to hop on my bike. Guys, these are all forms of movement, but I said 30 minutes of movement. I didn't restrict myself to I'm going to get on the treadmill and run for 30 minutes, or I'm going to strength train for 30 minutes. Guys, I said movement in general. So that gives you so much freedom to make sure that you're hitting that goal every single week, okay? Always staying injury-free is probably my #1 goal with people that come into the gym, especially when we're working on a strength training routine, because you have got to stay healthy in order to keep moving forward, okay? And yes, we can work around injuries, and there's all these things that we can do to make sure that we continue to move, but at the end of the day, staying healthy and injury-free is a huge part of making sure that you can maintain your healthy lifestyle habits. Okay, so be injury-free, don't overdo it, make sure that you're working within your means. Mistake 5, and this is probably the most important of all of them, and I put it at the end for emphasis. So this has to do with surface level evaluation of your goals. So I will be happy when I lose 10 pounds, or I won't be satisfied until I can run this time for my half marathon, or I just want to look good in a bikini. Guys, all these things are great on the surface level. Like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to look better or feel better or move better, but we have to ask ourselves, what is the real reason? What's your why? What will motivate you on the days that you don't want to get out of bed and go to the gym? What will keep you going on your diet when you are just at the end of your rope and you're like, I just want to give up? It's not worth it. Guys, you have to have something deeper than I want to look good in a bikini to keep you going on those days that you just don't want to continue anymore. So how do I get there with my clients? We ask ourselves why 5 times. Why are you here? Well, I want to lose 5 pounds. Well, why do you want to lose 5 pounds? Well, I think I'd look better. I might be a little bit more confident. Why is it important for you to be confident? Well, I just feel I'm really lacking a little bit of confidence in my life, and that kind of affects the way I act around my daughter and the way I perform at work, and all of these things. And okay, well, why is it important for your daughter to see you as a confident person? I want my daughter to be a confident woman and to grow up to be a confident woman and to see that she can do anything that she puts her mind to. Do you see how quickly that went from I want to lose 5 pounds so I look good in a bikini to I want my daughter to grow up with confidence and to know that she can achieve things that she wants to achieve? Night and day, guys. It is night and day. And if you're a parent, it is likely that your why comes down to your children, and I know you would do anything for them. So make sure you are digging deep. Go deep with yourself. Figure out what is my true why, and then write that shit down. Write it everywhere. Put on a sticky note. Put it on your mirror. Put it on the dashboard in your car. Wherever. Guys, you have got to dig deeper, though, and find what truly motivates you to continue going, because we all need something to work for. We all need something to strive for, and we all need something holding us accountable. Okay? So if that's your kids, I think that's a great place to start. So those are my top 5 mistakes and what we can do to combat them. But lastly, I kind of want to cover, if you have no idea where to start, what are some really easy habits? I say easy habits. No, there's some simple habits. It's simple, but it's not easy. So these simple habits can help you get started, but it's not easy to continue to do them every day. So that's why I recommend starting one of these at a time, maybe 2 of them if you already have one down. But these are just a few things that you can do to start out on the right foot. So get sleep every single night. This is something people severely underestimate when they have a fitness journey or when they begin a fitness routine, because everybody's busy. We don't have any time. I'm up at all hours of the night with the kid, or whatever that looks like for you guys. Just know that sleep is so very, very important. And research has shown most people need 6 to 8 hours of sleep every single night. So if you're not getting that, it's time to start working on that. Maybe set your alarm for 30 minutes earlier, or 30 minutes later, or going to bed 30 minutes earlier. Whatever that can look like for you, start finding those little pockets of time that you can chip away at getting more sleep, getting to bed earlier, or staying in bed a little bit later, okay? And that might mean you need better time management throughout your day so you aren't going crazy at the end of the night trying to get things done for tomorrow, okay? So 7 hours of sleep every night. That's habit 1. Habit 2, 5 fruits and veggies every single day. Now, that's a combination of the 2. Obviously, I do recommend more vegetables and fruit, but guys, at the end of the day, fruits are one of the most micronutrient-dense foods that we can eat, and a lot of people shy away from them because of the sugar, but they are seriously one of the most nutritious things that you can eat. So don't shy away from that fruit, but also make sure you're getting your veggies, and we've all heard that. We all know that, right? Protein at every meal is number 3. Guys, this is huge because a lot of people don't understand why protein is so important, but especially if you're strength training or if you're trying to stick to a nutritious diet, you need that protein to help keep you full, Okay, it's going to help you keep you fuller for longer. Protein increases your actual body heat. Your body warms up when you eat protein, so that means you burn more calories. Like, protein is awesome. Okay, and I'm not going to go into the science of it, but it's great, and you need to be eating it at every single meal. Okay. Habit number 4: exercise at least 30 minutes a day. Now that means movement. Okay, does not mean I have to go to the gym. It does not mean I have to strength train. It does not mean I have to do CrossFit. It means that you move for 30 minutes out of the day. And in the beginning, if you're not moving at all, obviously we want to stair step our way up to every single day, but that is a great goal to shoot for. So maybe by the end of the year, you say, I'm going to move every single day by the end of the year. That's where I want to be. So you start with 2 days a week, and then you go to 3, and then 4. Work your way up, guys. Make it sustainable for you. Okay? Habit number 5: have your body weight in ounces of water. No ifs, ands, or buts. Water is life. Okay? We are 90% water, guys. We need water. Drink your water. You'll feel better. All right? Number 6, recovery work, stretching, foam rolling, massage. Guys, we need to lengthen our bodies because we are constantly pounding that pavement. We are constantly, if we're in the gym and we're working out and we're lifting weights, or we're a runner, or whatever that looks like, guys, you've got to lengthen those muscles again. Okay, allow all those good nutrients to come in and to make sure that we are getting blood flow to the areas that we need to get blood flow to, because like I said earlier, injury prevention is one of the top goals of continuing a fitness journey, because if you get injured, guys, it is so much harder to get started again. Okay, last one: daily affirmations. And I'm not talking about like the woo-woo, I am enough, blah, blah, blah affirmations. I'm talking about convincing yourself that you can do what you said you were going to do. Because at the end of the day, guys, like we talked about earlier, if you're not 90% positive that you can achieve a goal, you're not going to achieve it. And we need those daily positive affirmations to tell ourselves that we are able to do what we said we are going to do. I can keep my promises to myself. I am a hard worker. I can do what I set my mind to. I can do what I say I'm going to do. And at the end of the day, that's what's going to get you furthest ahead, is keeping that positive mindset and making sure that you are continually moving forward and not letting yourself be dragged back into those bad daily habits. Okay? So those are my thoughts as we're getting started for 2020. I hope this was helpful to you. This is me. I'm genuine. I'm real. This is how I talk. And if it's helpful to you, go ahead and follow me on YouTube, on Instagram, and we're going to have a lot more fun in 2020. Thanks, guys.